Welcome back, Northern Michigan. The humidity is gone. It feels great. Nice cool breeze. Joel Clifton here from Morgan Composting. Joel, thank you so much for joining me today.
Well, thank you for having me.
Well, you know, we're going to talk about questions, answers today. One big question, watering the garden. We've been in a dry spell for a while.
Yes.
And when is the best time to water the garden? Morning, afternoon, evening, night?
The best time to water is in the morning. First thing, that gives you enough time for the leaves to dry off if you're doing overhead watering. The second best time would be in the mid-afternoon because you could hopefully have enough warm weather to dry off the leaves before nightfall. The reason you don't want water on the leaves is because it can bring in disease or spread disease. Ideally, the best way to water is not overhead, but through drip irrigation or through a soaker hose. That allows you to have a little more flexibility with your time of watering. But yeah, you definitely don't want to have water remaining on the leaves for a long period of time.
So then ideally, you do not do it at night. You wait to the, call it dawn area, dawn time or so, and then early
Correct.
morning?
Yep, first thing in the morning right at dawn would be perfect.
Okay. Now, obviously, our garden is looking fantastic. Everything is lush and green. We've had the dry spell, but we've watered generously at times. And tomatoes, another big question from a lot of you too. Joel, I've trimmed these back several times already, but they're getting out of control. Again, how do I trim? When do I trim? How do I cut this off? Because it's almost, what, 8 feet already. So what do we do here?
Well, this is a type of tomato called an indeterminate variety.
Okay.
Which means that this thing will continue to grow as tall as it can up until frost.
Not good.
When frost kills it. So
okay.
This can get to be 12 feet tall if you let it go. A good maintenance pruning would be to prune off what's called the suckers. Every time there's a leaf coming off of the main stem, there's going to be a little branch that pops out. That is called a sucker, and you want to just simply clip that with your fingernail or pruners. Get rid of that because at this stage of the season, you want the plant to put more energy into ripening your fruit than on creating more branches and leaves.
All right, so right now we've got a bunch of nice little tomatoes down here getting ready to go, but the energy is going too much higher to get to these guys, right?
Right. So this is the perfect time of year to start clipping things, pruning. You can prune tomatoes pretty drastically without doing damage to them.
Okay.
You can see every single branch has a terminal bud. So you can also clip those off to prevent more vertical growth, and it's not going to harm the plant at all.
So like in this guy, I see a flower right here. I'd like to trim, probably trim like right here or right underneath that.
Right underneath that, about a 1/4 inch underneath that flower cluster.
Okay. And that should stop it from growing higher.
Correct.
So Joel, that's how we take care of the tomatoes. That's great information. Hopefully you got a lot out of that too. Now, we know another big question, how to keep rid of the animals, the bunnies, the deer. What have we got here, options to look at?
We have a few different options. This is a mechanical device that you hook up to your water hose. It has a motion sensor on it so that as soon as a critter walks into your garden, it'll spray water at them and they run away.
Okay.
This product contains blood meal. It makes the animals think that there's a dead animal in the area and they get away from it, not knowing what the case is. This product here is a combination of clove oil and garlic and a few other things. You spray this right on the leaves of the plant and it makes the plant taste bad, so they stop desiring it. This product is the same, except this is cayenne pepper oil, and it makes deer don't like hot sauce, just like some people don't. So
right.
They get away from that pretty quick.
All right, so a lot of options here, some more towards deer, others towards most anything, which is really good to see. I know I've had some problems with my rabbits and deer as well, so many options. Joel, thanks so much for coming and answering questions today.
Well, thank you.
A lot of things going on, and of course the garden, as you can tell, is growing incredibly. Justin will be back here next week talking about how things are going, and of course that'll last at least a couple segments because how big everything is.